So I'm going to introduce Dan today. I met today's speaker at last year's Tom Ferry Success Summit. We instantly connected. He is one of the top agents in the country, leads the #1 team on Long Island, hosts on multiple successful podcasts, a social media genius, and one of the most generous people that I know. He's the Italian DMX, AKA the Long Island Bulldog, AKA the Jake Paul of real estate, Danny Deals himself, and a total guy's guy.
Yes, sir.
Please unmute yourself and show him some love, Mr. Dan O'Neill.
Thank you, everybody.
Amazing. That was great.
What up, man? What up?
That's the
What
first
up?
time I've ever heard that. I don't know. I don't know if that's a compliment. but Thank you.
It's all
And listen,
compliments.
it's an honor to be here, and I've been following this for quite some time actually. So to be able to be here in front of you guys and be the speaker, it's truly an honor. I respect the heck out of Robert, Ryan, a lot of people that I'm happy that I recognize on the call too. So it's really a pleasure to be here. And Robert Mack told me I had free reign. So I have a bunch of different scripts about like social media and open houses and all these different things. But because he told me I had free reign and it's whatever I was kind of feeling, I'm not like Grant Cardone. I'm not a motivational speaker by any means, but through speaking to different people on my team across the country, I'm noticing so much like self-doubt, so many excuses. And I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that. And I can get into the social media and stuff if we have time for sure. But you might know me from my funny videos, and while my favorite thing in the world to do is to bring joy and to give back and entertain, this might be a little motivational. And if you don't like it, then maybe unfollow me. But for those that don't know me, and I'm sure there are plenty, my name is Dan O'Neill. I am a broker out of Long Island. We have had the #1 team. I do have 30 agents in New York, and we have about 10 down in Florida. I personally listed 100 homes in a year, and I've had a team surpass 300 transactions. None of this matters. What really matters, and the reason that I bring this up, is because I grew up with nothing. My parents were not in the business. I did not have a mentor. I was not in coaching. There was none of this. And to be quite honest, if I wasn't an athlete, I don't think I would have even graduated the 8th grade. In fact, I'm not even sure if I even did. So if I can accomplish the things that I have so far, and I'm just getting started, trust me when I tell you that every single person in here, if you haven't gotten there already, you can too. And I'm hopefully going to share a few things that can help you to get there faster and more efficiently. But I've also been able to generate close to, I would say, almost 15 seller and buyer leads a month through social media for free. And I'm going to share how I've done that for you guys as well. Can you imagine what your life would look like? I mean, if you are doing this already, it's amazing. But can you imagine, even if you did 5 deals a month, if you did 7, if you did 3, just from being yourself on social media, not spending any money, like $0. So your ROI is 100%, and you're able to generate leads through Instagram and social media. And I know Bobby Mack's been doing, Instagram and YouTube since basically AOL dial-up was a thing. Like basically the guy was shooting video on his Sidekick or his BlackBerry. And I know you've heard the social media case from everybody. I know Chris Benjamin was hosting a few weeks ago, but I want to share my journey and what it looked like and how you can implement it and what I'm doing right now. And really the social media stuff that I'm going to talk about, you can apply to everything. It's not even just social media. Before I get into that though, some of the things that I've been noticing are a lot of excuses, a lot of self-doubt. If you hear a jingling, it is my brand new puppy that I have that is sitting next to me, whose name is Byron Jr. after Byron Lazine. Kidding. Kind of not really though. But as somebody who, in my opinion, I think in my mind, I've had a rough go of it the last 6 months, whether it be like family issues. I had a dog, related health issue, and you can chirp me all you want, but he was my best friend, and just real life problems. So I totally understand. We all have stuff going on, whether big or small, whether work or personal. Everybody has stuff going on. Everybody. Combine that with now a normalizing market and the media coming at our throats. Like in the Northeast here, we're down 30%, and that's because of the holidays and otherwise. So it's easy to make excuses. It's easy to get down. It's easy not to do the work. I recently did a one-on-one mastermind with Ryan Serhant. Even Ryan Serhant has real life problems, the same that we all do, maybe just a few extra commas in his bank account, but still the same. So these excuses that we all make up in our head, or what we use to get out of doing something we know we need to, is exactly that. And it's an excuse. And pardon me while I grab my 8-week-old puppy here. Sorry, he's a cutie. I should show you all him. But if my mom sees it, she'll be pissed. All right, so like personally can sometimes let a lost deal or like a tough consumer get to me and allow me to get a little frustrated. What I used to do was I would shut down. I would be visibly annoyed, let it ruin my day. Sometimes I'd even let it carry on to the next day. Hold on, I got to remove my dog here. You guys want to see him?
Show the dog.
This is the only way this is going to work. Say hi. Did this speech get much better now that I have him in front of?
All the girls love you even more, Dan.
100%. What kind is it, Dan?
They a Boston Terrier. His name is Ernie. Sorry, but the noise. I don't know if you guys could hear it or not. It was driving me nuts. So this is much easier. So these real life problems that we all run into, like I would shut down. I would get upset. I would let it ruin my day. I would let it ruin maybe sometimes 2 days, right? But it's all about perspective. So I can sit here and I can mope and I can get annoyed or let something silly ruin my day. Or I can put it into perspective and realize that we are supposed to have these things happen. We are supposed to have deals die. We are supposed to have some bonehead agent across the table from us that we're negotiating with. This is all normal. Get used to it, embrace it, fall in love with it, or fall back in love with it. Have a 15-second little pity party or funeral or meltdown. Like if you saw me driving on the highway, you'd be like, this kid is out of his mind because I'm sitting there like, ah! But 15 seconds later, sitting here, and I smile and it's back to work because it is our job to be positive. It is our job to smile. And if you ever feel down or you have any sort of self-pity, I challenge you to go to a local children's hospital or a local shelter and volunteer your time. And you will see how quickly your problems compare to theirs and how they dissipate. And I bet the next time that you don't want to get out of bed, the next time you don't want to door knock, you will be thankful that you even have another day to do so. Oh, but Dan, I don't have the time to do this. Oh, I have kids. I can't wake up earlier. I can't, stay at the office later. Okay. I know plenty of millionaires and people who do very, very well that they sleep a lot. They wake up late. Sometimes they go to bed late too, but it's what they do during those hours that they're awake and that they're working that really matter. Oh, you got into a fight with your spouse? It's supposed to happen. It's going to happen. Deal died? It's supposed to happen. Gonna happen. You stub your toe and you wake up and you remember you forgot to call somebody back and you're racing to find your outfit and your black shirt and then you stubbed your toe. It's supposed to happen. It's gonna happen. Oh, but Dan, I have kids. You're not the only one. Oh, I have eczema. I can't do video. Look at my freaking face. You're not the only one. Oh, I hate when people say no. You're not the only one. Whatever it is, remember that it's supposed to happen and leave it at the door. And remember that this is normal. Can you guys hear Byron Jr. jangling around here? Because he's driving me nuts. Okay. You guys know what's amazing about this business? We can help as many families as we want. We can make as much money as we want. We can give back as much as we possibly want. Does anyone want to, take care of their parents, their kids, their spouse, maybe their homies, their friends? For me, my friends and homies, no, but for the rest of it, yes. So imagine I told you, or rather reminded you that you are in an industry where you can make more money than a doctor, a surgeon, sometimes even combined. And it's all about the effort or energy. And a lot of people don't measure their success by money, and that's totally fine. So for me, I can help. Well, I can't cure cancer. I'm not a doctor or a surgeon, but I can help a lot of people in the probably biggest financial decision or investment that they're going to make in their lifetime. And to me, that's why I wake up every morning. So imagine you put your head down for 52 weeks. You disappeared. Imagine what that would look like for you. If you woke up an hour earlier, you stayed an hour later at the office, imagine you disappeared and just did the work for 52 straight weeks. I disappeared for like 2 years and I'm still mending family relationships, some friendships, but I knew that I had to do it. And this was granted 4 years ago, but very similar to now. Hey, listen, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I got to work late tonight. Or, hey, sorry, I can't do date night four nights a week this week. I have to work. We don't know how much time that we have. And if you're here, everyone's potential is limitless. The sky's the limit. So leave your excuses at the door and just fucking do it. Just get out and do it. Now, before I get into my social media part, I want everybody to take a second now and think what's one thing that's getting in your way that it is that you can sacrifice or that you need to sacrifice and let go of. I want just think for a couple seconds. For me, mine's alcohol. I know that going out every now and then with my friends and drinking or binge drinking, I'm miserable for 3 days afterwards. It's not, I don't want to do anymore. So I'm making that sacrifice to you all right now. I hope you all keep me to it, but that's my sacrifice. I know that that's something that's getting in my way. For all of you, that could be something different. The dog is finally gone. So one thing that I've been using before I get into the social media is time blocking. And this might sound very elementary, but it's really, really working for me. So I'm taking, let's say I know I need to put in 60 hours a week into the business. I'm divvying it up by, okay, I need to spend 10 hours a week prospecting. I need to spend, I don't know, 7 on social media. I need to spend 5 on follow-ups, whatever it is. And I have them all written out in different categories. And then I will go into my calendar every Sunday or the night before, and I will make sure that I have 45 minutes time block to follow up. I have 30 minutes time block to go through my DMs, 20 minutes time. You don't need an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. You can do this in little 15, 20-minute increments. Can everybody go in their calendar right now and find some 15, 20 minutes or some bonus minutes? If this ends 10 minutes early, oh, I just got 10 bonus minutes. I can call up Bobby Mack and be like, hey, I miss you, bro. How you doing? Right? I got those 10 extra bonus minutes. But you don't have those if you are not time blocking your schedule. How many people go through an entire day? See how many of you are liars. How many people go through an entire day and you're gassed? Like I'm talking 8 to 6, you get home, you're like, what just happened today? And you feel like you got nothing done because all day long you're sitting there just swatting away fires one after the other, issue, just playing defense the entire day. You get home and you're like, I didn't even do anything today. No one else, I'm the only one. That happens to me all the time. So by time blocking, it allows you to play more offense instead of defense. It allows you to feel more effective with your time instead of sitting there and like, oh my God, 8 hours later and I didn't do anything. I got to call this guy back tomorrow. This is insane. So the time blocking method, and if you want me to go into it more, I can, but I'm just taking how many hours, 60, 65, I'm divvying it up and I'm just putting in 30-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute blocks for everything. And that's follow-up. That's calling my friends, checking in with my family. I even time block when I'm having like a really, really bad day. They're laughing at me. When I have a really bad day, if you're laughing at me now, wait till I say this. When I'm having a really, really bad day, my mother lives like 15 minutes away from me. I will time block to go to my mom's house for 12 minutes. I sit there and pet her dog and I smoke one of her long cigarettes. They're like this long. They don't even do nothing. It's not even, I don't even know. It's like an English cigarette. It's like smoking a candy cigarette, but I'll sit there and I'm like, damn, I'm having a bad day. Smoke it like I hate it. It's gross. Put it down, pet the dog, and I get back to work. But I time block that. And if I have a couple extra bonus minutes, maybe I hang out with the dog for 5 minutes. But if it's not time blocked, it's not going to happen. I love the fact that I see a couple of dogs on here too. So make sure that you're time blocking. You will play a lot more offense as opposed to defense. As I get into the social media thing, why this is important for all of you, and the 3 biggest takeaways that I want you all to have is, why is it important? What does it actually look like? Because for everybody, it's different. And number 3, what results can you expect? I recently saw an Inman article about like 7 things that top agents wish that they did or wish that they did sooner or more of. I think the first one was hire an assistant. The second one was be a better student of the game. And the third one was go all in on social media. So with social media, and I know Bobby Mack's been doing it for 15 years. He was the first ever, which I commend completely. If you asked Bobby Mack back then if he was comfortable on camera, if he liked the way he looked on camera, if he liked the way he sounded on camera, I would probably bet he would say no. But over time, he fortunately became more handsome, but also he became more confident because he was practicing and he was doing the exercises and he was doing it. You can't expect to shoot a video the first time, right? And all of a sudden you're Ryan Serhant or you're Bobby Mack or you're Ryan Mack or you're Christina or whoever, or Tessa. You have to do it. You have to make mistakes. You have to feel a little bit uncomfortable. I still feel uncomfortable doing this. I'm still thinking about the fact that my dog's chain was jiggling for the first 10 minutes here. I'll probably think about that for the next month. I'm so much in my head, but it never goes away. Never, ever. I just realized that this shade of blue or black, I thought this was black on black. This is black on blue. I'm colorblind. I've been thinking about that since I hopped in the Zoom. It never gets easier. It just becomes, you know what? If Tessa or Ryan Mack are going to make fun of me for this, and so be it. But if they watch my video, I win because one view, and I get this all the time. Oh, but I don't get the same engagement. I don't get the likes. I don't get the comments. Who cares? I can archive it in 3 months, 4 months. All that matters is that one person sees it, because that one view could equate to $1 million relationship. Or again, if you don't equate your success to money, it could equate to you giving back, or you doing good for the community, or you helping a buyer or seller. Went off on a little tangent there. I started my videos with my phone and a ring light. And trust me when I tell you, I'm sitting there like so ugly, so unconfident, so mortified that I'm even putting myself out there. Everyone's going to hate this. They're going to make fun of me. But what I started to realize is it became my value proposition. So what went from me using my phone and a ring light eventually evolved to me going on an appointment and thinking, how could I separate myself or differentiate myself? Little Danny O'Neill, who had a $10 suit on at the time, no sales. How could I be different than the person in my market? His name is Brian Karp, who sells 300 homes a year. How can I be different? I'm going to put it on MLS. I'm going to put it on Zillow, right? So is he. I'll make a video. I will do something that will draw as much attention to the house as humanly possible. And I did that. And eventually it started to evolve, and my sellers started to pick up on it. And I started to sell houses because of it. And it just snowballed from there. But if I never took the time to practice, or if I never took the time to evolve or stay informed with what was going on with content, I would not be here in front of you guys right now. If I didn't get past these anxieties that I have right now, still, I mean, I'm still going to have these anxieties as soon as I hang up with you guys. But if I didn't temporarily get rid of them right now, I wouldn't be in front of you. I would never be able to help as many people as I would. I would never have the team that I have now. None of the above. So we could all make the excuse as to why you don't want to do the video. Oh, I don't have a full-time video team. I don't have $4,000 a month to spend on video. I don't have 10 hours a week to spend on video. You know Glenda Baker? Anyone ever heard of Glenda? You know how much time she spends a month on video? 10 hours. 10 hours a month. All in one shot. One day, brings a couple of outfits, makeup, whatever. 10 hours. Oh, but Dan, I don't have $4,000 to spend on a full-time media team. I don't have anyone to edit it. Simple. You have a phone. Probably you don't even need a ring light. Go outside. Sun's out, right? Go outside, shoot a video. Sunlight. It's good lighting, right? And by doing this, and again, you come up with any excuse, I can combat it in a second, because it's in your head. It doesn't exist. There's always a way around it. But by doing this, you're putting yourself out there, you're educating your clients, you're building a brand, you're allowing people to get to know you, the real you, right? So now when you go on a listing appointment, you don't even have to bring listing paperwork. They already know. You don't even have to sell yourself. They're calling you. Hey, Will, hey, Rachel, hey, Ryan, Mac, Shauna, here's the listing. Can you come over and see my mom's house at 2 p.m. tomorrow? It's yours. So the next time that you don't want to do a video, the next time you don't want to make a call, the next time you don't want to door knock, remember that it's all in your head. And if somebody slams the door in your fingers, it's their fault, their problem. I hope they use somebody else. Somebody tells you no on the phone, it's supposed to happen. It's part of the business. You feel insecure because you got a mismatching color combo here and your dog's, jiggling around in the background, and you have eczema overrunning your face. Yeah. Everyone does. Everyone has that. You are your own biggest critic. You are your own biggest critique. I guarantee you, I could be wrong. You probably didn't notice I had eczema unless I said it. You probably didn't notice that my different colors here until I said it, right? In my mind, like everyone's going to hate me because I have 2 different colors on. Oh my God. But these are my own insecurities, and none of you even noticed it. So your insecurities and your excuses are just that. They're in your own head. And I'm hoping that somehow I said something here that resonates with you guys, because as we go into 2023, it's going to be a different market. It's a normalized market, a correcting market, but it's going to be more difficult. And the people that are on this call here, you're already doing the right thing by continuing to educate yourself, by learning, by being here is half of it, right? So I really hope that in 6 months or a year, I'll be with you guys on that side, and we'll have somebody else standing on this side, and we could all be sitting here like, you know what? I helped 20 families this year. I helped 40 families this year. Hey, Dan, I did a video. I hated the way it looked, but I put it out there and I got 3 leads. I sold a house, and the rest is history. I hope, and I know that I'm going to receive some of those and just put in the work. I wish I had a better closing, but that was all from the top of my head. So thank you so much. I don't know how much time I have, or if I went over, if I went under. Thank you guys so much for having me here. And I mean, I don't know, Robert, any questions? Did I
No,
just
man,
talk for
that
3
was
hours?
awesome. I
blacked out.
definitely want to open it up to the room to see if anyone has any questions for Dan.
How long did I go for? I just blacked out. The hell, what just happened?
It's
It's
been
good.
22 minutes. It's great because you left about 8 minutes for Q&A.
Oh yeah.
Dan, so let me get this straight. Back
Yeah,
to-
there he is.
No, this is
back
an
to
ambush.
basics. Let me guess.
No.
Make your calls and back to basics. Is that what you said?
How long were you in here for? How did I
Just
not
2
see that?
minutes.
Oh, he's been here for a while.
Oh, he
How
has
did I
a
not
meeting
see
with
that? 2 minutes.
NBC pretty soon. He has a meeting with NBC. He can't stay long.
Oh my
You
God,
you
that is
crushed
an
it, man.
ambush.
That was great. Good work.
Is he actually here that entire time? How did I not? If I saw your mug, oh my God, I would have left. I would not have been able to do that. Thank God I
Head
didn't see you.
case. Such a head case.
What the hell are you wearing, dude? You live in Los Angeles. What are you in Alaska right now? What the hell
Dude,
kind of jacket is
it's
that?
freezing in here. And won't let me turn on the heat.
See, I'm wearing a mismatched jacket.
It's
This
got to be
guy's wearing
62
a
degrees
full-blown
in here.
Montclair
Oh.
jacket. Jeez, my gosh. You know what?
It's like,
I
it's like
lied.
I'm climbing the Swiss Alps right now. I'm just
Gentlemen,
Listen,
we'll go to
I'm
happy
not-
hour for all this. We've got a question.
If you
Yeah.
look like that, maybe don't do
Go
that. I don't know.
You guys ask questions. I'm out. All right. Good work, Dan.
Thank
Oh,
you,
that was
thank
an
you.
ambush.
So Tim Manfro here wrote, how do you select content for videos?
How do I select content for videos?
Yeah, how do you come up with your content?
So, I mean, everybody's going to tell you differently, right? Everyone's going to talk about different buckets of content, educational, YouTube, TikTok. For me, it's just like I can get ideas or inspiration from movies, from videos, from a commercial, and how I can spin that into real estate. But at the same time, I'm also taking articles from Broke Agent Media, as Eric's here, or BAM, Inman, KCM. It's free content, right? Like I take that and I can use a green screen, or I could do a training, or I could shoot a little quick video myself. So I try to spend at least like 30 minutes while I'm scrolling through Instagram or TikTok to, instead of just mindlessly consume golf shots and puppies, I try to actually learn and see what I can use and relate to real estate. But it's also stuff that I deal with every single day. You know, it's like self-deprecating content. If I won't make fun of like a seller or buyer, but if I have something like an agent on my team says something crazy, where they have something crazy happen to them, I'll use that. And what I've really been trying to do is just constantly evolve. My content used to be 4 to 5 minutes long. Like I did this video, I dressed up in a Grinch outfit. I thought it was like, I should have gotten an Oscar for it, but nobody watched it. Then I put out this mindless 20, 30-second video of me like, you know, doing the Dougie, and it gets 150,000 shares. So I'm like, I can't be doing the 4-minute long videos anymore. Let me evolve and let me change my content. And it's just constantly being aware of that. But you could draw inspiration from anything. And you could even draw inspiration from other people. You could draw inspiration from Ryan Mack, from Robert Mack, from Chris Benjamin, who's always on here. You can use other people's content and use it as inspiration. And whether you tag them, you shout them out, you put your own spin on it. Like there's only so many ideas that are out there, right?
Yep,
That was a
absolutely.
very long-winded answer.
Don't overthink it, right? There's just ideas everywhere. We're in the age of information. Another question here. What platform, in your opinion, is the most effective?
For me, Instagram is the most effective. I have more so recently begun the TikTokification of my content, whether it be YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. I'm even posting on LinkedIn, or at least my VA is supposed to be. But for me, it's just, I found that Instagram is the best. Facebook's really good too, like for building community, for commenting on other people's posts. So for me, it's Facebook and Instagram. For everyone else, it could be different, but I can tell you that I am on everything. It's not me posting it. I mean, I'm shadow banned from TikTok. I think I get like 100 views, but I have a VA that's sharing it out and posting it, because the more that you are in front of your consumer or other agents, the better off you are. Like, wouldn't it be great if if you went to your local, Einstein Bagels, and everyone's like, oh, Robert Mack, I know you're selling real estate around here. You're the video guy. You are the best buyer's agent in OC. You are the luxury agent, right? Like, doesn't everybody want that?
Mm-hmm.
You got to be posting everywhere. People should be opening up their Chase Bank app, and your face should be there, like 123 Main Street's for sale, right? YouTube, TikTok, everywhere.
I love it, man. I love it. It's Will here wrote, the year is almost over. What amount of business can you confidently equate to the content you posted throughout the year?
So this is really tough because it's easy to spit out a BS number. Oh, 87%. Like, No, that's 80% of agents fail after a couple of years. It's really hard to tell exactly who comes from Instagram, except for if they're a direct message saying, hey, can you call me 631, and hey, can you come by my house or can you come sell my house? I would probably and confidently say that about 60% of my business comes some way, shape, or form through social media. The other 35% comes from, or maybe 40% comes from past clients and referrals. But even them, they probably came from social media at one point or another. Like if I could even say 100%, because except for the cold calls and the for sale by owners and the door knocking that I do, that's where my business came from. And whether it's someone's grandmother that doesn't have Instagram or YouTube, but their child somehow follows me, or their grandchild does. And then well, if you're going to go sell, you got to look at this guy, Dan, he does funny videos. He's the best. So I can almost say 100%, which is crazy.
I have a question. One thing I really love about you is your creative video ideas. Like, I think about you in the lake on a jet ski. I think about you on a horse in front of a house. Have you always been this creative, or are you just, now that you're in real estate and you're like, I got to do something that's going to make a splash, and what can I do? Like, tell me a little bit about your mindset around that.
I am the least creative person that you will ever meet in your entire life. In fact, if you want to see me draw a stick figure, this is what it looks like. The lowest grade I ever got in high school was in art class. This is my stick figure right here. Can you see that? It's actually not that bad. I guess that's a bad example.
Looks like he has a dislocated shoulder.
Well, let me put a hat on it. Listen, I am the least creative person that you've ever met in your entire life. But what I've tried to do, and thinking back on those videos, they're maybe even a little bit cringe. I don't suggest you go rent a jet ski or a horse or jump in a pool. I think at the time that was the right content. And I think that it worked at the time. But now it's just being different and doing something that's going to separate and differentiate yourself. And no, I'm not creative, but I use other resources. I use Instagram, TikTok, other people's content. And that's where I come up with these ideas from. I look at other people from other industries, whether it be comedians or people that I just genuinely enjoy following. I look at their content and I'm like, how could I make this geared towards real estate? And like, don't get me wrong. Right now, I don't think I've posted in like 2 weeks. I'm going through a little bit of a creative rut. I have stuff going on in my life where I got hacked, my bank account. I'm spending so much time and effort and energy. I'm so upset over it that I don't have it in me to go out and make a funny video and make everybody else laugh, because I could use a laugh myself. Right. So those things are going to happen. And it's just a matter of, writing down the ideas when you're on the treadmill, when you're watching TV, when you're watching a movie, when you're driving. And then over time, they kind of formulate into these ideas or these videos that you can create.
Yeah. Well, I would say you are a creative genius. That's my opinion. Your video about you, that one kind of blew me away. You have so many awesome archive videos that it's amazing stuff. Does anybody have any other questions before we wrap it up?
Andy had one in the chat. Andy Dane Carter had one.
Here we go.
What's up, Andy? I didn't even see him in here either. Thank God I didn't see him in here. My gosh.
Yo, what's up, Dan? That was great,
What's up, brother? How are you?
Doing super well. That was amazing. That was
Thank you.
great.
I
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much for your time too, brother.
Thank you guys for having me. I love that art in the back. I was just at Art Basel. I almost
Oh.
bought something just like it.
Nice. Yeah, it's a super good friend of mine. Paints a bunch of cool stuff for us at the office.
Oh yeah.
Well, Andy's question is, have you seen leads come in from YouTube? YouTube long form, or YouTube shorts, or YouTube in general?
Yeah, like pretty much.
Zero.
Yeah, like
On-
shorts, longs, everything YouTube.
on all fronts, zero. And I just checked my YouTube studio this morning. I think we've had like 85,000 views this month. And I think the month before that, we were at like 50 or 60. I've had zero people ever come in through YouTube, or at least say like, hey, I saw your video on YouTube. But what happens is they see the Instagram, they see a YouTube video, they see Facebook, they see me at a networking event, they see me, my signs out. I leave my signs out every weekend. So they can't get rid of me. And like, this is an ugly, memorable face right here. So it's kind of just like the onslaught of this guy's on the bus. This guy's got, his signs everywhere. And then all these videos, they can't,
Yeah.
It's hard to get this face out of your memory. So I've had zero people say, hey, I've seen your YouTube video, or like message me from that, which is interesting. But I think it's very important to just to have it everywhere. Should be.
Yeah, it all stacks. It all stacks. The one
100%
thing that
agree.
you said that was really cool was you said you get to a point where you can just go to a listing appointment and you don't even have to take anything because they already know who you are and they're ready to hire you. And I think back at an inquiry that we got a year ago or maybe 18 months ago through YouTube. And Ryan worked with that buyer and seller, and he was the easiest client ever because he, like, every time Ryan went to tell him how to do something, he's like, I've already watched all the videos online. Just tell me where to sign. Like, it was that easy. So that's the power of social media. And that's the power of building trust over time through digital media. So awesome, man.
I actually get in trouble. And if someone from my market or my office is here, that they can probably back me up. I get in trouble because I don't even have a listing like agreement. I don't even bring it with me. I go on the appointment. I see the house. I give them our information. Sometimes they say, oh, we don't even need it. We already, we're using you. And then I send them a DocuSign or I send it to them at a later time when we do pictures. But I haven't carried a listing agreement on me in the longest time. And it's because of the social media and the digital print. And it just makes your life so much easier. Like, don't you want to work with somebody or people that already know you, that already like you, that already trust you? Social media is the best way to grow a brand of like, know, and trust. Like, I have people, I'll sit down and they'll be like, hey man, you look a little tense. Like, you can puff your little thing if you want, your little strawberry cloud. And I'm like, no, but I won't do that. But there's just, listen, if I curse and you don't want to work with me because of that, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you don't want to work with me because I vape this little nicotine pen, then I know you're doing yourself a disservice by using somebody else. And I genuinely feel that way. And I know so. And everybody that's in here should feel that same way. So be unapologetically yourself, for better or for worse, because you will attract more people that want to work with you, that are more like you, that you have more in common with. And it just makes your life so much easier.
When I think of somebody who's unapologetically themselves, you're the first person that comes into my head. And I love the fact that you basically have crushed all the industry myths around the people that are like, you've got to take a listing presentation. You've got to take a listing contract. You can't leave until they sign. And you're going in there unattached with I'm here to serve you. If you want to work with me, great. If you don't, it's all good. And I think that's where you see business thrive.
And listen, in 2021, I personally held over 100 listings, and I don't think I brought one listing packet with me or had one sign. And the amount of times that people be like, all right, so, let's sign, let's take pictures tomorrow. And I'm like, what do you want to sign? My forehead? And they're like, wow, like you didn't bring a listing you didn't bring any paperwork. I'm like, no, if you want to work together, like, let's work together. And they're like, wow, that is amazing. Like they're even more excited to work because they're like, wow, this guy's confident, like he's not trying to pressure us or sell us. So it's great.
Awesome, man. Well, Dan, thank you so much for your time. We're all, I know, very grateful for all the information you shared. And thank you everybody who came and participated today.
Dan,
we found some great nuggets.
Whoa. Hold on, Robert.
Wait, hold on. Dan, will you share? I know that you do podcasts. I know you do a lot of broke agent media, different things. Do you want to put a plug in for anything before we have you jump off?
Good call. Thank you.
See, that's why Christina's in my mastermind, and she's like the glue. She's like the mother hen. She's like sending people links. She's
I am like, seriously, everybody in that mastermind could be one of my children. Like that is the age group. And I'm like, I made Tessa and Peter join so that at least I'm like, not saying that they're old, but like familiar faces and they know are crazy. So I'm always like, okay, here comes the mom.
That's so funny. Well, you're the best. If social media, just Instagram, Dan O'Neill _ there's like 15 fake accounts. So if you ever have anyone DM you trying to sell you crypto, just know that I don't even have or know what crypto is. We do a lot of stuff with Eric and Broke Agent Media. So check out them on YouTube and the walkthrough will be on that podcast. I just started my own podcast. It's a bit insane, episode 1, but that's on YouTube as well. So, and hopefully if you take anything away from this and if it impacts you in a good way, I would love to hear about it because that's truly what makes me happy. And I just mentioned that I'm in a little bit of a creative rut. So when I get messages of people that say, hey, I loved this or this worked for me, it really truly like makes my day and makes me happier, and maybe that'll help me get out of my creative rut. So I wish you all the best. It was truthfully an honor to be here. I'm looking forward to being on the other side as the weeks continue to go on.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. We were all looking forward to it. Ryan, sorry to cut you off. You might have to send a direct message, or unless it's something that will benefit the group.
Are you talking to me? I got nothing to say.
Oh, I thought you were jumping in. Maybe it was somebody else I cut off.
You cut Robert off because he likes to hear himself.
Oh, then that's okay. We're good with that.
No, thank you for cutting me off. It was great that you, I wanted Dan to get some plugs in there too. So.
Thanks, Dan. You were amazing.
Thank you guys for having me
Yeah,
so much.
thank you so much, Dan. We appreciate it. Thank you for
God
being
bless everybody.
vulnerable. It was amazing.
Crush it. See you soon.
All right, later.
Hey, bud.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everyone. See you next week.
So what was this meeting?